We have some crazy stuff happening right now in the crypto markets. Go ahead and smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new. We're not going to waste any time this morning. We're going to jump right on into the news. We're going to take a look at the chart action and see just exactly what's going on with Bitcoin. But first, let's go ahead and jump right into the news. Like I said, we're not going to waste any time. Okay, so the first thing I've noticed this morning is the EVERGRANDE news, the FUD over here with China fears trigger stock sell-off, sinking Dow futures and crypto. Here we have, as Evergreen fears spook markets. Is EVERGRANDE defaulting? Is this the reason for China's war against Bitcoin? Does EVERGRANDE's $300 billion debt crisis pose systematic risk to the crypto industry? So we're going to go over a couple of these news articles, but we got some bullish news, guys. AMC adds Ethereum and Litecoin, and also accepting payment in crypto at AMC. So in addition to Bitcoin, AMC will soon accept other cryptocurrencies for purchases. So you got to throw a little bullish news in there. But also, guys, over 60 South Korean crypto exchanges set to suspend services next week. So we're going to take a look at all of this and more next. So don't go nowhere, and make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you're new and join the community here. Nice growing community of crypto lovers here. And smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm for me. It really does help out a lot. I appreciate the support very much. We will be taking a look at the price action as well and giving you guys my thoughts on that. So stick around for that as well. But first, let's go ahead and check into this EVERGRANDE news. Okay, so let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about this. Have you heard about this? Have you read about this already this morning? But let's go ahead and check it out. All right, guys, first, let's go ahead and take a look at this article over at CNN Business. 5 things to know about EVERGRANDE, the Chinese business empire on the brink. So let's go ahead and first take a look at that. Let me get rid of this. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at this. But it says here, the troubles of Chinese conglomerate EVERGRANDE have dominated headlines after it warned once again that it could default on its astronomical debt because of a crash crunch. Experts have characterized the firm's struggles as a major test for Beijing that risks turning into China's Lehman Brothers moment, sending shockwaves across the world's second biggest economy. This week could be critical for the company. It was supposed to repay interest on some bank loans on Monday, according to Bloomberg. The news outlet recently reported that Chinese authorities have told major banks that they won't receive those payments. Okay, so China's like, all right, we owe you some money. You're not getting it, though. You're not getting it. Okay, so guys, like I said, this is a big slump in price, right? We have seen a big slump in price. We're going to take a look at that next. But guys, I'm going to explain to you why I don't think this is a huge thing to be worried about. FUD happens all the time. FUD happens all the time. The price drops at the moment these news articles come out, guys, but the fundamentals are still the same for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. Let's continue. So what is EVERGRANDE? EVERGRANDE is one of China's largest real estate developers. The company is part of the Global 500, meaning that it's also one of the world's biggest businesses by revenue. Or at least was, right? Listed in Hong Kong and based in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen, it employs about 200,000 people. It also indirectly helps sustain more than 3.8 million jobs each year. So guys, this is pretty big. I mean, that's 3.8 million jobs each year and employs about 200,000 people. The group was founded by Chinese billionaire, also known as Hua Kai-yan, and in Cantonese, I'm going to pronounce it in Cantonese because that's easier than the Chinese name, who was once the country's richest man. EVERGRANDE made its name in residential property. It boasts that it owns more than 1,300 projects in more than 280 cities across China, but its interests extend far beyond that. Outside housing, the group has invested in electric vehicles, sports and theme parks. It even owns a food and beverage business selling bottled water, groceries, dairy products, and other goods across China. So just all over the place. In 2010, the company bought a soccer team, which is now known as Guangzhou Evergrande. That team has since built what is believed to be the world's biggest soccer school at a cost of $185 million to Evergrande. Maybe they got a little out of control here. Maybe that's why they can't pay back their bank loans. I don't know, man. Seems like they've been doing a lot here. Here we go. How did it run into trouble? In recent years, Evergrande's debts ballooned as it's borrowed to finance its various pursuits. Like I just said, maybe it got in over its head just a little bit. Maybe you guys over here at Evergrande got in over your heads just a little bit. So their debts have ballooned as it's borrowed too much to finance its various pursuits. The group has gained infamy for becoming China's most indebted developer with more than $300 billion worth of liabilities. Over the last few weeks, it's warned investors of cash flow issues, saying that it could default if it's unable to raise money quickly. That warning was underscored last week when Evergrande disclosed in a stock exchange filing that it was having trouble finding buyers for some of its assets. So guys, this is just one thing here, one thing out of a big picture, guys, one thing out of a bigger picture. You know, like I said, the fundamentals around Bitcoin, the fundamentals around cryptocurrency and blockchain have not changed. This is basically just some big conglomerate over in China that got way in over their heads and cannot pay back their debts. So some of their investors are panicking and people are probably selling off due to this. Okay. Like I said, fundamentals have not changed. Nothing has really changed. As I'm making this video, Bitcoin is still seeing a nice little drop. But we're going to take a look at the daily chart here in just a second. And I'm going to point this out right here. I'm going to point out the moving averages. I'm also going to point out this possibility here that I have drawn in. And I'll explain this little target that's down here as well and why I think that's even also a possibility before we continue on up towards the end of the year. Stick around. Now, I would like to take a look at this article as well because this is also somewhat of some more FUD here coming from South Korea. It's saying next week. So, guys, this was published on September 16th. It is currently the 20th, guys. So this was published on September 16th, was updated 3 days ago. So South Korean, over 60 South Korean crypto exchanges set to suspend services next week. Now, if that was the 16th, that is talking about this coming up week now. Okay, so this could also be another reason that you're seeing somewhat of a sell-off because people might expect prices to slump, as 60 cryptocurrency exchanges in South Korea must notify customers of a partial or full suspension of trading by Friday midnight, a week before new regulation comes into effect. So you have new regulation in South Korea coming into effect. You have regulations in the United States trying to crack down. This is an exciting time in cryptocurrency, I must say, guys. To continue operating, exchanges must register with the Financial Intelligence Unit by September 24th, providing a security certificate from the Internet Security Agency. They must also partner with banks to ensure real name accounts. So this isn't exactly a bad thing, guys, over in South Korea. This is actually somewhat of a good thing. Like I said, some regulation is definitely needed in the crypto space just so that more people and more potential investors will feel safer to invest and bring new money into the crypto space. It says exchanges that have not registered must shut down services after September 24th, while those that have registered but failed to secure partnerships with banks will be prohibited from trading. Okay, so there may be some exchanges, if they do not comply, they may get shut down. And we also have some exchanges that will still be prohibited from trading if they fail to partner with the banks. And the banks are getting their hands, they're twitching, guys. They're twitching, their thumbs are fiddling, they're itching. They see what's about to happen with cryptocurrency, and they're trying to get in as quickly as possible and secure these partnerships before this just takes off without them, right? That's how I feel about it. Nearly 40 of these exchanges are set to suspend all services. A further 28 have security certificates but have not secured bank partnerships. Just 4, Upbit, BitHum, CoinOne, and Corebit, have registered and secured partnerships and so will be allowed to make settlements, WON settlements. Some smaller exchanges, including Probit, Cash Arrest, and Flybit, have already said they will end WON trading and that they will continue operations involving only digital coin trading until securing partnerships with banks. Okay, so this may not affect things as much because it appears here that the only thing that will be different is they won't be able to trade with the WON, but they'll still be able to interact with other digital tokens. Okay, so not so much of an effect as this FUD from the Evergrande news, right? So we're going to take a look at one more article here, and then we're going to take a look at AMC's news that they will be accepting cryptocurrency, and then we'll take a look at the price action really quick. All right, so I wanted to take a look at this quick article over here at stockhead.com.au. So this must be an Australian website here. But let's go ahead and take a look. It says, crypto, Bitcoin drops $2,000 in 30 minutes as Evergrande fears spook markets. Once again, some more, like I said, FUD, guys, FUD. All right, so Bitcoin fell 4% in less than half an hour this afternoon as risk assets around the world drop on fears over fallout from the looming default of Chinese property developer Evergrande. Bitcoin fell from 47,200 to as low as 45,200 within an hour, mirroring a plunge in Australian and Asian equities and US futures. So it's all dropping, guys, all dropping. But you can see, look at this. Well, we'll take a look at the price section in just a second. This is a risk-off move, City Index analyst Tony Sycamore told Ausbiz TV this afternoon. We've got the third leg of a correction playing out currently. Third leg of a correction. Looking at it through an Elliott wave framework, Sycamore predicted that Bitcoin could drop as low as 40,000, give or take 1,000 before heading higher. Guys, I have been talking about this. Look at this. See my trend line here? At what? 41,000? At 41,000, guys. Also, if we take a look at this chart, where does this get us? This gets us all the way down here to 32,000. We're going to take a look at that in just a second, but I do have a trend line at 41,000. I also have potential support that could play out at around 42,000. We'll talk about that as well. But let's go ahead and continue here, see what they have to say. I still like Bitcoin in the bigger picture. Me too. So this for me would be a corrective pullback within an uptrend, he said. It's a phenomenal buying opportunity for bulls, Sycamore said, although adding that people who are already long crypto might not be as happy. He was predicting another 4 or 5% drop. Perth-based Think Markets analyst Carl Kapalungia tweeted that uncertainty over Evergrande and losses from Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index were leaking into crypto markets. He also saw Bitcoin's long-term uptrend intact, but the short-term momentum has been lost. He wrote, he recommended staying out of the market until Bitcoin had climbed to 48,800 or dropped to 42,500 or so. And you can see his chart here. And some of his support levels, he shows his support level here at 42,582. He's got also some areas to pay attention to here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the charts and see what we can figure out here in the chart. So first of all, the first thing I want to do is throw it on the daily chart. I just want to point out, if we zoom in here, guys, zoom in on the daily chart, you can see currently we are bouncing here, attempting to bounce here on the daily candle at $44,000, okay? That's right here at your moving averages. Guys, you know, everyone was talking about this cross, right? We've had our cross, moving at a bullish cross here, and look what's happening. Some FUD comes in and is shaking. Can you imagine the people that are being shaken out right now? Or shaken out right now? Can you imagine? Now, I've had this in here for some time, this little line here, because I've expected that if, you know, we come down, we break 44K, the next level of support, in my opinion, is right down here at about 41,000, which that coincides perfectly with what Carl here was mentioning in it goes perfectly with what he's mentioning in his article, talking about 40,000, give or take 1,000, right? He said 40,000, could drop as low as 40,000, give or take 1,000. So this would line you up nicely here with 41,000, anywhere between 40 to 41,000. I've had this line drawn in here because that is a drop that I've expected to possibly happen before we continue to the upside. Now I do have this little target down here that's down here around 30,000 to 32,500. Guys, that is still a possibility in my opinion too. We could still come all the way back down here and retest this support and then bounce, right? And then go ahead and continue our way on up to the upside towards the end of this year. We don't necessarily have to come all the way that low, but that is a possibility to keep in mind, in my opinion. What I'm paying attention to is the same thing Carl over there is paying attention to, guys. Whoops. This 40,000 to 41,000 mark here, based on this previous resistance back here, does make sense to come back down and retest that for support. And if you break 44K here, most likely you could expect support down here around 40 to 41,000 and then a nice bounce. So we can drop it over here to the 4-hour chart and take a look at the shorter term as well. Also, once again, 42,000 right here, guys. 42,000. Oh, Carl over here, he says support at 42,500. Let me just look and see. 42,500 would be about right here. That makes perfect sense. That lines you up over here perfectly. Let me drag this over here. Anywhere between 42,000 and 42,500, which is where I have this purple box. 42,000 to 42,500 is right here where I have this purple box, and that lines you up perfectly with this previous resistance and this previous shoulder top over here in Bitcoin's price action. Let me just go ahead and drag this circle up here to circle that. Whoops. Let me put my line back where it goes. Let me just go ahead and put this right here, guys. That would line you up perfectly with this previous top from back here. So even if Bitcoin drops as low as 40,000 to 42,000, we are still okay, guys. Like I said, the fundamentals have not changed. Nothing has really changed. We're seeing a little bit of FUD. I've been talking about this, a decent little drop down to retest this previous shoulder and resistance over here for support as well. I've been talking about that for a little bit. I've been expecting us to see a drop after this push up, after this breakout of this pattern that we had back here. We came up, we hit perfect resistance near 52K, which was perfect resistance that was to be expected. That was this previous support level from back here. We did hit that nicely here, and now we're seeing a pullback. Guys, it's just a healthy correction here. We could honestly pull back a little bit more. Like I said, check out 40K to 42,500. These are areas you could pay attention to. Of course, like I said, in this chart over here, I do have the possibility of us coming all the way down to around 32,500 to retest some of this previous support back here. That is just the super bearish case, okay? We don't necessarily have to come that low. That's just a target to keep in mind for a bounce, okay? Hope you guys enjoyed this quick update. Had to bring this to you very quickly, guys, before I get ready this morning, just to point out some of the news headlines, point out some of the FUD, and remind you guys that the fundamentals around Bitcoin, the fundamentals around cryptocurrency have not changed. We're just in a very transformational time right now, guys. As adoption is happening, countries are adopting Bitcoin, regulations are coming. We are just in a very transformational time, guys. So definitely, if you're new to the channel and you love cryptocurrency and you want to stay up to date with this kind of stuff, drop a comment in the comment section down below, first of all, and holla at me and let me know how long you've been in crypto, what's your favorite thing about cryptocurrency. But make sure you hit that subscribe button and smash that like button before you head out. Do appreciate the support very much, and I better see you guys in the next one.